Obliterators are Chaos Space Marines who, through their allegiance with Chaos, have merged their armor, weapons, and of course daemon into their being. What caused this to happen? How was the Obliterator virus involved? Friends, let's find out, and welcome to another 40k video from the 2007 Chaos Space Marine Codex. The machineries of the Chaos Space Marines include many monstrous demonic creatures heaving with warp power and arcane technology. Not even the adepts of Mars possess anything but the most rudimentary knowledge of how these bizarre war engines work, and likely neither do most Chaos Space Marines. Yet there is a cadre of warriors who have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of alchemical and mechanical perfection through the power of chaos, and have turned their bodies into living weapons. These are the Obliterators, often once tech marines of the Emperor's Space Marines. Obliterators are obsessed with the overlap of the material and immaterial, the organic and the inert. They use arcane knowledge, gleaned from the power of chaos, and the sinister adepts of the Dark Mechanicus to blur the boundaries between biological, technological, and demonic. Infused with this energy, they are hulking warriors that can fashion weapons out of their own bodies, grow armored plates, and repair injuries that would fell lesser creatures. They are inhuman, grotesque, arcano-cyborgs, whose blood can become white-hot plasma, whose internal organs generate electricity, whose bones are fused with titanium, and whose brains are as much machine as living flesh. There is much speculation on the nature of the infernal bond between the Obliterators and the Chaos Gods. They do not sport obvious marks of allegiance to any particular deity, and do not bear the colours of any single legion or renegade warband. Although their exact numbers can only be guessed at, it is obvious that the Obliterators are exceedingly rare fighters. They exist outside of the warbands, moving from one to another, exchanging their services for the opportunity to claim ancient technologies or capture exotic war gear from the Imperium and alien races. Some makers of Mars and members of the Inquisition have preferred the notion that Obliterators are infected with some kind of warp-based demon-created virus that alters reality within and around them. These theories are highly contentious, for there is little evidence to back up their claims. Opponents of the theory say that a simple virus could not exist in the way it is claimed, and that it is simple demonic possession in a limited way that gives Obliterators their power. For those that face Obliterators, such discussions are irrelevant. Whatever the source of their unique abilities, Obliterators are much sought after by Chaos Lords. Whole wars have been forged to provide a cadre of these monstrous warriors, with the architect they seek in return for future support. These powers are linked to a techno-virus, and a line struck deep in the Eye of Terror has seen a strange machine plague boil over across worlds of the Imperium. The cults of destruction, those warbands consisting of Obliterators, Mutilators, and the warpsmiths that strive to control them, have always acted as seething hotbeds for the chaos technovirus that infects them. Since the demon primarch Perturabo and Mortarion combined their genius in the Eye of Terror, however, this affliction has been weaponized. Instead of slowly and organically claiming the souls of those who obsess over their war gear, this curse now spreads in the form of an airborne infovirus, often referred to as scrap code. Now, I have seen in the novel about the Assassinorum Imperial Knights infected with something called scrap code, so this may be linked to that. Scrap code can be seen as the machine equivalent of the Dark Tongue, seemingly nonsensical at first, but harsh upon the ear to the point of causing physical pain, and possessed of an anarchic power that can cripple a machine spirit and pervert a war engine to the cause of chaos. Some say that even battle tanks and mighty Imperial Knights have been brought low by this ravening, self-replicating scourge, sprouting clusters of oil-slick gun barrels and forests of lashing cables from their adamantium hulls as they indiscriminately kill and destroy. Now from the siege of Castellax we see what they can do in action. Hold, ordered Amakaya. We'll go in guns first, for your consent and acknowledgement over the Vox, and together with Makello and Phaedos, flanked the closed circular portal that lay ahead of them, waiting for the others. Amakaya and Racordian moved as silently as possible up behind him as Rox lumbered into position. Massive ball guns extruded themselves from Rox's forearms, mouth and eyes, heavy chains of ammunition writhing beneath his skin like thick, dark veins. That's quite the image. The Obliterator stood in front of the door into the bridge, armoured legs planted wide for stability. Amakaya gave a hand signal, and Michaela and Fjorkun took high explosive crack grenades from the belts of their armour, planting the dull metal discs around the edge of the door. Phaedos unhooked 2 bulky cylindrical melter bombs and Magd clamped them to the door, where the ultra-high temperature detonations could cook off the crack grenades. Silently, Amakaya counted down the seconds on his fingers. 3, 2, 1. The grenades went off in unison, blasting the door into a storm of metal shards. Instantly, Rox opened up, every gun blazing, massive caliber shells, red-hot casings fountaining, chains of gunfire ripped through the air, sending bright points of light streaming into the brightly lit, spherical room beyond, and the noise was truly terrible to hear. Rox took a step into the room, muscles straining beyond the plates of his armour as he forced himself forward against the recoil of his guns. Phaedos ducked the streams of bullets and sidestepped into the room, chain blade held low, bolt pistol held out in front to shoot anything that still moved. Fjorkun followed, Michaela crouched in the doorway scanning with his sniper-stripped bolter. Then Amakaya charged through. Gunfire erupted again from below. Vex swatted away a score of bullets from the Obliterator and caught 3 more with his free hand, throwing them back down to the floor of the bridge with a curse. The young one, the most dangerous, fired a well-aimed shot at his temple, but Vec flickered his head to the side, and the silenced bolt flitted past him. Vec took 2 steps and leapt, dropping through the lattice of bullet trails to land directly in front of the Obliterator, whose every weapon was blazing at him from point-blank range. The Star Sword cut through the air as Vec met every bullet, sending a sparkling fan of deflected fire in every direction. The hulking Obliterator reeled as several of its own bullets punched through its biomechanical body. The flesh of one arm became fluid, extruded and solidified into a blade of bone with gnawing teeth at the cutting edge. Vec ducked the fire blow and parried the second, shearing the first blade in 2 as a barbed whip tipped the lamprey-like mouth lashed from the Obliterator's other arm. Vec grabbed the lash, wrapped it around his fist, and used it to swing the Obliterator hard into the wall by the doorway. Armour splitting cracked, corrupted blood spilled. Vec paused to dodge more bolter fire from the other word bearers, who were falling back through the doorway. The Obliterator tried to rise to its feet, but Vec was faster by far. One swipe hacked its arm off, another opening it from throat to belly, spilling half-machine guts out into the floor. Silvery snaking entrails splattered across the swirling maelstrom, visible through the transparent floor. Vec knew better than to assume the Obliterator would die. A bright line sparked in the air, and a twisted half-machine head rolled onto the floor. One was dead, the slowest and stupidest. Now for the rest. And that, friends, is where we wrap up today's video on the pretty cool Obliterators and the virus that assails and aids them. I love the idea of these creatures producing weapons from their bodies, like some sort of vile dark anime character, and adapting, using that to the enemies they face. What do you think to the Obliterator virus and how it's twisted these Space Marines, these Chaos Space Marines, even more than they were before? Comment down below.